Welcome, my young Padawans, to Plus the Mouth with our thoughts on episode 4 of Andor. It's quite good, isn't it? I think it's slowly now getting good now. First episode's a bit like, and then eventually, as last week, I had that grand epic episode last week, doing episode 3, and I did wonder, was it not going to take a little dick? They normally do these shows, but no, we're staying steady. Right, nice, sort of steady pace. It was just like, yeah, really, really, really good. Intriguing. So intriguing. Yeah, so very, very good episode, and how we can have that continue. As we met so many new players to enter the fray. Before that, we stick with obviously, picking right off where we left off. And then last week, obviously, with Ray and Cassian having made their getaway. And we see him on the ship. Rail is such a mysterious character. I mean, we kind of got an idea of that when we first met him. Towards the end of episode 2, when he was on the aircraft, having to sit next to that passenger. But I just feel like there's just so much more mystery to him, and I'm loving that Cassian is trying to get information out of him. He's always like trying to be at the views, like, who are you? What is your role in this and all that? But really, it's just still being just so mysterious. He's just a very mysterious character, and I can tell straight away there's that little sort of trust issues which those two characters still need to try and work on. And luckily, they spend the entire ride to Aldhani. trying to bear that trust issues, and obviously we are trying to convince Cassian to be in or out. And of course, Cassian does eventually. It's more of a reluctance, isn't it? I think Cassian's still got those trust issues he's trying to work on, so he just reluctantly agrees. And Ray, of course, asks him, right, to create like an alias for yourselves, and so Cassian goes with the name Clem. Now, that's interesting, isn't it? Because isn't Marber's husband called Clem? So, interesting. I don't think any of the present day material yet we've managed to see an appearance from Clem. So, interesting. There again, if you're gonna pick an alias, wouldn't you pick somebody that you knew from your past, maybe? I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't. I probably would come like a random name on the spot. But I'm sure if you were going to play, wouldn't you pick somebody who maybe is no longer with us, somebody who you knew quite well? So, interesting. Hopefully, maybe later, as time goes on, we can maybe learn a bit more about that. So, that'll be interesting to see how that goes on. So yeah, so that's the persona that obviously Cassian's gonna be under while on this mission, and speak of the mission, we then get to meet the rebel group's leader, Val, who obviously meets with Rael, and it's clear she's not happy about it. I was loving that little squabble they were having, because obviously Cassian was told, right, stay on the ship, don't go anywhere, and you can see from the outskirts of the window Rael and Bao to pick up a star, because I just loved it. It's like, really? Now? We're nearly ready to actually go and kick-start the mission? Really? You're bringing us in a newbie now? What am I supposed to say to the others? But I love how Rael was just being firm. It's like, nope, you take him in with like, you want to be a leader, right? This is where you lead and everything. So I was like, woo! It was just... So yeah, acting like the big boss and everything, just woo. Not want to get on the wrong side of Rael. I really would not want to get on the wrong side of Rael. Yeah, so it just really showed the cracks that are in this the rebels. I mean, I know it's supposed to be early days, but you can just see already the cracks are there. They're not really like a functional unit. But of course, Bao takes Cassian under her wing, not too pleased by it. Everybody's doing things reluctantly this episode. Cassian, yeah, I'll reluctantly join your cause. Bao, yeah, I'll reluctantly take him under my wing. Oh, no. Did anybody do anything willingly in this episode? I don't think so. I loved how on their way, they're walking along. Cassian was trying to see if Bao knows anything more about Rael, but she's like, nope. She's like, who? It's like, no, you're right. We're not gonna mention him. His and Bol we're keeping secret. Okay, nobody needs to know. All right. When we get there, it's gonna be. Here's our cover up. It was my idea. Okay, my idea. Go with it. Anything else will have a problem. Capiche? And of course, when you meet the rest of the group, who look like a real big ragtag of misfits, you know, they look like they're homeless and everything. Just look, you know, just sort like they look like they're outcasts and nobodies, which is probably a good idea. You want to try and, you know, launch a sneak attack under the Empire's nose. But I just felt they don't really look like they're anything of importance. They just look like the outcasts of society, all sort of bundled together. And you can tell that there's discord because they're all like, oh, they're not pleased on this either. Like the fact that there's somebody new joining at the very last minute. So you can see, but some of them are like, yeah, well, I trust him and everything. Yeah, I'm like, but some just. I'm hoping as time goes on that we're going to see more of that. I want to see how the group's reactions to obviously having Cassian out in the fall, because I don't think Cassian's really going to file in line and play along. I think Cassian will at some point, like we saw when they explained the plot, which we'll get to in a little moment. You can tell he voiced his concerns and everything, so I think that, so it'd be interesting to see how, particularly if Cassian still wants to try and go his own way, it'd be interesting to see how the rest of this group cope with that. And it'll be interesting to see how they deal with it. Right, before we get back to the plot, I want to now move on to the Empire itself. Because I was so hoping, in fact, do we know the new... Yes, we do. We got the new character's name up. Right, good. I don't need to go and look it up. It's like I have done so far. I got looking at this. Thank God for that. Make my job easy this week. Right. So, I know last week we all knew that obviously the security lot were literally in trouble. Literally, at the episode, I was like, oh, you're gonna get it! And go on. I just was like wanting somebody to just lay the law down on Detective Inspector Khan. So, like, because... Let's face it, we've got to remember, the Empire is no nonsense, and I feel whenever you have a Star Wars show or a film, you need a moment in it where you see the Empire lay down the law and literally just, and not be afraid to reprimand even the loyalist of followers when something like that goes horribly wrong. And so it was brilliant. So you had, basically, the chief... you had one of the lieutenants. It was not the female one. We'll go to one in a moment. It's the male one. I don't think we learned his name. We learned the female one. She's called Deirdre Mira, but the male one, I don't. Did we learn his name? Either? No, he's the one that goes to I've got it already, haven't I? Primar. He's the one. So the male lieutenant, not the female one. The male one goes to Primar, and you've got Mosk, the chief inspector, and Carl all lined up being reprimanded, and the chief inspector literally puts out and goes, "What's a me job? I know nothing about this. I didn't authorise this." But literally, all he gets to say is, "Wasn't me." And literally, and then the attendant's like, "Zip it." Because remember, the chief inspector had nothing to do with this. He basically told Kai, episode 1, "I want you to come up with a convincing, wet cover story of how to deal with this and just sweep it under the carpet." That's what the chief inspector wanted. And then, no, Kai decided, "No, I'm going to take matters in my own hand. I'm going to avenge these people's deaths." Well, look what happened! That's all I really felt for the chief inspector, because he literally just went, "Wasn't me!" He tried to state his case, but the detective was having none of it. But I suppose the book starts at the top. So even if some of the miscreants misbehave in any fall company, it's always the boss of the company or has to take the fall. So in a way, while I did have a small spot for the TV Spectre episodes, all three of them kind of had to get reprimanded. Otherwise, it would just show the size of the Empire going soft or something. So, but yeah, so that's it. So just the poor TV Spectre. But good on Khan getting put down to size because he needed taking a peg or two. I love how the attack literally just went right to his face. Proud are we? Because that was me, I was so good. Right, Detective Inspector Khan. Happy with what you've done? You satisfied? Proud are we? We're really just hitting where it really is. Because let's face it, I think Khan's still a little bit shook up, isn't he, from last week, isn't he? Still a little bit shook up. Despite the fact, no, we're supposed to be the bad guy. We're not supposed to have any sympathy for you. Let's do this. Yeah, go bring him down a peg or two. So basically, their sex has now been put under Imperial authority. So basically, the woman reprimanded. So that then sees Khan go back home. So we actually learn that Khan's a mummy's boy. See his mum, and what I loved, the moment she opened the door, she gave him one quick backhander. Just one quick slap. I was like, oh! If I was his parent, I would give him more than a slap. You disgraced the car name! What are you going to say for yourself? That's about it, wasn't it? I don't appreciate any dialogue, did it? It was like, it was just like a quick little moment to try and explain, here's where Khan's gone. Yes, but, it's like, yes. Yeah, so hopefully that's Khan out of the picture now, because let's face it, this episode, we got the grown-ups, didn't we? We've had 3 episodes of the toy soldiers wanting to play around, prove to be big men, and literally proving just useless. But it's about time the grown-ups come in now. So hopefully that's Khan out of the way for a while. Although 12 episodes, I don't think it will. It could be because I don't own 2 sides of the Empire try to get after Cassian. Except only one's. We've got the competent side, which is what we met in this episode, and Khan's side, the incompetence. Oh dear. Right, so so yes, that was his bridge. So I just love to see him literally get Khan literally be ripped to shreds and getting reprimanded for all his reckless behaviour we've seen pretty much since the start of the series. So, but I want to stick with the Empire because we got to meet a new character into the fray, and I was quite impressed with. Although I do have suspicions, and I'm going to be keeping a very, very close eye on Lieutenant Deidre Mira. I was like, at first I thought, she looks very, very cold, very ruthless. She seems very keen to want to try and work her way up to the ranks. And obviously her colleagues and superiors obviously recognise this too, which is why she gets faced with all opposition. Because she spends the episode trying to get access and authority over the Ferex system because of the Star Path unit. Apparently that's something that falls under her jurisdiction, and she believes that this is another example of several cases of artifacts that could be of use and might help lead towards locating a potential rebel alliance and snuffing it out. But the rest of the is just like, actually no, come to me when you've got proof. You've got cold, hard, factual evidence. But I was loving all those Imperial scenes we got, check all the scenery. It's all very white. Now I don't mind a little bit of white every now and then, but not all white. But I thought it really set the scene, didn't it? It was just so, because normally when you get shots of Imperial or Empire stations, it's always quite dark, quite black, and quite grey. So it's kind of hard to make things out. But here we got to see a lot of light, a lot of white. It was really interesting, complete contrast to previous films and shows from the Star Wars universe. So I actually quite love seeing all that decor series. And everyone all being dressed in white as well. Just elevate it just that little bit more. But I don't know what to make of Deidre. I don't know. I mean, at first I thought, oh yeah, she's just like she's a ruthless, cold, loyalist to the bone into the Imperial forces. But as we got towards the end, and she did that little sigh. I'm just trying to think. Could she be a double agent? Because she was very, very, very keen on getting that star path unit. And so I'm wondering, is it because she wants to use it to try and, build up this case that there could be a possible rebel alliance and these artifacts could be abused to help us flush it out? Or is it because she wants it because she wants to use it to bring the Empire down? I've got no idea. I thought I had this character sussed out, and now I'm just sort of. I don't know what to make. I don't know. So I'm going to be keeping a very, very close eye on Deidre as we move on. But she did make a very, very brilliant first appearance, I'll have to say. So another new character entered the fray was we got to see a new was a senator. Senator, is her name up there? Yes, it is Senator Mon Mothma. So Rael is ending the couple of disease. We got to all sorts this week, Rael, hasn't he? First he sends Cassian off to be with this rebel group, and then he tries to pretend he's all, Antiques Roadshow, and be all, I'm going to be this antiques dealer. Oh, I think that is worth about, probably 20,000 credits. And you paid how much for it? Big old doll. No, got his old wig bag, got a little assistant. And it's like, what's going on? So he tries to post this antiques and meets with this senator, so Senator Mon Mothma. And they're basically discussing the challenges in trying to keep their opposition to the Empire hidden, because, well, as we all know, there's only so long that you can go before word's going to spread, and they're trying to bide their time. They're trying to keep it at bay as much as they can. They don't want to lit the flame until they're absolutely certain they can actually start making gains for the Alliance and start making wins for the Alliance. And what I thought was really interesting was how the Senator Mothma kept pointing out, there are literally spies everywhere, and they keep chasing every single day. It's like new faces keep coming up. So you can really tell the pressure is on her, because she knows if anyone catches wind, she's gonna be the first that obviously goes. And so you can see a lot of cracks in the rebellion already in this very early stage. Even though we know how it does go on to succeed, you can just see how it wasn't that, the road to victory wasn't that plain and simple. Tell you what also was not plain and simple: Senator Mothma's marriage. Because later on you get to see a shot with her in her quarters. It's meets her husband, who looked very strikingly like a doppelganger for Obi-Wan Kenobi. I know it wasn't, but it did looked very similar and sounded similar too. You could tell the strange there because they're having this sort of this dinner with all her rivals, which she didn't realise. And she's like, and literally the thing is like, she kept naming them all, like, hang on, these are all people who oppose me. So. And her husband's like, don't worry, I'll put you on the boring end of the table. What's the boring end of the table? It was the Singletons. Was it me on the So you can tell there's the fractions there already. So I'm wondering that's going to be interesting. But oh, this Sarah mum, off yeah. Maybe she's got loads of charges on her hands, both marital and rebellion. Right, speaking of rebellion, just to kind of finish it off. So the rebel group, obviously we've now got out of the way of who's this? Why is he doing it? Why did we not get a say? But I was like, zip it! I'm in charge! She should have just said that. I'm in charge! Michael. So they then eventually explained to Cassian their plan on they're going to be stealing the payroll of an Imperial garrison from a key Imperial supply hub by taking advantage of this kind of rare natural phenomenon. That's a bit of tongue twist there. In Aldhani sky to try a gape since their getaway vehicle is quite slow. Well, have you not got a mechanic? Oh, I know someone who might have been helpful. Oh, no way, he's dead. Oh. I just thought, oh, Tim could do that. Oh, no way, he's dead. No, also it's Cassian. Probably wouldn't have it anyway, but Biggs as well. She could maybe. But it's like, oh. And what I loved is how Cassian's car just literally just poking the holes in this planet left, right, and it's almost like you could tell, right? You sure, like it's like a suicide watch. No to expect it. Well, foolish enough to try. I think so. I just love that. So you can already see that this trust that Cassian's had for the whole episode, first with Rayo, then now with everybody else, it's there above the surface. And I just think Cassian is not going to be able to cope with the team. I just don't think he's going to work well with this lot. But they're his only option. So yeah, so I think there's going to be some frictions coming up between Cassian and this rebel group, but they kind of all need to kind of work together because obviously, let's face it, they're all each other's got in a way. But I don't think this mission's going to be a straightforward for mission. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes as we move on. But I just because it does feel like we are building towards like this high octane action-packed mission, which we normally do get to see in Star Wars. I don't know, but I'm just wondering, is it going to be as simple as it sounds, or is there going to be frictions or other challenges that are coming away and cause trust frictions? But I think I just can't see this team gelling. It's just because Cassian is just too much of a lone wolf who wants to try to do on his own. I just don't think he's going to work well in the team. But he's got to, because obviously they are his only option to survive and moving forward. So all in all, just loved how he just kept the pace going. I was just like, great. And also what was also really great is we had no flashbacks. I was like, because so far the past 3 episodes we've had a flashback, and I thought, is this going to be a recurring thing? In each episode we get a flashback. Yeah, they're firing now and then, but not each week, and not when there's already a good story going in the current in present day. So I kind of felt it was good we had an episode 3 of the flashbacks, because you never know, they could have maybe decided to put one in for each episode. But I think I only have them come up every now and then. Let's have a good couple of episodes without flashbacks, and then we can cross back. Obviously, they're going to be key because to help, us learn a bit more about Cassian, what Cassian leading up to where he now is the present day. But I felt every now and again they just kept bringing up more questions and answers, and I thought at this stage, let's get settled in, then we can start posing questions and not about what's going on. But yeah, so it's interesting how it was kind of flashback free because we had a really good story. There was just so much present day action going on that was really intrigued. It had me really hooked. So I was like, can we just stay with that? Let's not steer off into the past. Can we just stay with it? Because there was just so much going on. It was just so hard to keep track of it. It was just like, I was just loving it. So I feel these last episodes now have really managed to pick up. The first 2 I felt was a bit slow. I was like, oh no. Because I really want to get excited about this. And the last week episodes was like, yes. And this has carried on with the good work. So I feel like, so we'll see after the next episode. We'll see after next week if we can, if it stays that way, and if it does, then I'll be like, yep, sold, I'm in. Yeah, so I just loved how action-packed it was. It just kept that pace up going from last week, because last week was just like a corker. So many interesting storylines from all different sides of the galaxy, and it just was absolutely brilliant. So hopefully we can keep this going up, because I think I'm slowly starting to get into it now. I feel like we've had, which is good, because I really want to get best into it, and it just, the more it keeps delivering great pace like this, the better, and that helps to keep me interested. So thank you so much for joining us today. If you loved the show, do click the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do click the subscribe button. That way, once you are subscribed, you never miss a single where your content comes in between by episodes plus the mouse. Also, make sure to ring the bell, and that way you automatically know all the latest content. Until next time, all that's left for me to say is, may the force with you, and